Regency season is managed by a number of very powerful matriarchal figures. Mrs. Bridgerton, Mrs. Featherington, obviously trying to find suitable husbands for their daughters, but there's also Queen Charlotte and the Dowager Lady Danbury. And so I'd like to go now to Golda and Adjoa. Golda, let me start with you. Tell us about Queen Charlotte. And by that, I mean the Bridgerton version of Queen Charlotte, because she's not in Julia Quinn's books, is she? And this is a really quite important premise behind the show. So explain that to us.
Yes, I mean, it's really important to note that she is not in the books. So she is of the world of Bridgerton. And I think it was a really important thing to kind of place in this world to show society, to show who is running society, to show the kind of the royal lifestyle, who is in charge, who says yay or nay, who's in, who's out. Who has the finger on the pulse of the gossip of the day. And I think it's really fascinating and very clever of Chris and the team to put a Black Queen in this world, that then you're able to push the boundaries out to make space for a very beautiful, colourful show where Black and brown people are at the front and shown in a positive light.
Joe, I think where they're going with this, isn't it? It's not colourblind casting. It's the imagining that Queen Charlotte would have promoted lots of people of colour to her court, so that you would have had dukes and duchesses and so on, and people like Lady Danbury.
Yes, I think. This period in English history was a much richer period in terms of the people who existed in the country and particularly in London than normally gets portrayed in a costume drama. And so lots of historians will tell you now that Queen Charlotte, as many people know, was descended from Alfonso III of Portugal and his African concubine, mistress, whatever. There was a lot of interracial relationships in the Portuguese court at that time because you had the Moorish influence coming up from North Africa. So in a way, it's not a documentary. It's a beautiful romance drama, and so. It's a way of just opening the possibility of remembering that all these people existed at this time. There were 20,000 free black people in London in Regency England. So what Chris has done, he's sort of given this glorious, expansive version of this Regency period. So you get, Golda in all her fabulous pomp, and then you get a character like Lady Danbury, equally fabulous and in her pomp as well. And I think for me, Lady Danbury she's one of those women who we sort of celebrate, the mothers and the grandmothers and the aunts and the godmothers, who are those gorgeous, tough talking, hard working, far seeing women with a real appetite for life, but who also have an eye on those who are sort of vulnerable and need scooping up. So in this world, she can see the way things are supposed to run. She has a very clear sense of society and of who is in, as Golda was saying, the people who are in, the people who are out. But she also has a slight sort of edge to her, a bit of a sort of deliciousness that.
Yes, she's got that sort of Maggie Smith acerbic kind of, hasn't she? Some of the sort of lines.
Yeah, she does have a real acerbic swing to her, absolutely. And yeah, and but then a real affection and love and a desire to see Simon, the son of her, you know, I sort of imagine that relationship that she would have had with Simon's mother would have been a bit like Eloise and Penelope, you know, those lovely secret friendships where you just adore your best friend. And so for the child of your best friend to not have his mother means you absolutely have to step into that breach.